Hi everyone, this is another video on the NIRS Toolbox. This time we're covering how to print your beta table once you run the GLM. It's actually quite simple. So assuming you've put together your pipeline correctly and you've gone through how to understand that, at the end of this pipeline, if you can see, just for starters here, actually I'd have to go up a little bit. I start with the PCA filter. I actually check my data quality using this brief lines of code here. I call the optical density function next in line. Then I do a pre-whitening, a DCT filter, the Beer-Lambert law, and a GLM. In order to run this pipeline, I would actually just do j.run on my data, which in this case I had named raw. I save it as an output variable, which would be href. I go ahead and click next. And we will see currently we're busy. It's going to do quite a bit of calculations as I'm doing a parallel pool, which I believe is being called using either the pre-whiten or the DCT filter. Once that's done, we'll move forward to actually print the href table. So I don't actually have that line of code here, but it's actually as simple. If I open up the href, we see that I actually have only one data group. If I had two, it would look something like a cell with two channel stats variables within it. So I can see I have here a beta table, and then I can either print that out or I can actually print all of this information out. In this case, I actually want to print all of it. So I'm going to do href, which is my variable. If I had multiples, I would just do parentheses 1 or parentheses 2, whichever one I want to print, but in this case I don't have that. I go to print, table. So I just go to href.table. I go ahead and print that, and here we are. So I actually have that all printed out nice and neat. The first thing is this channel, so you have source and detector combos, whether it's HBO or HBR. The condition name, in this case I have poor condition names, I haven't corrected for that, but it says stim channel 1. Let's say this is finger tapping, I have left and right, I could rename those. Beta, I have the values for that, standard error, t-statistics, degrees of freedom, the p's and the q's, and the power at the end. So if you wanted to export this, you could call it just with some simple MATLAB code. But just for starters, all we have to do if we want to ever print that beta table, you just have to call the variable that you saved your GLM in and .table, and it will print that out. If you wanted to, you could even save it as a variable, something like BTA for beta, and now we actually have a table that you can copy and paste into Excel or something like that. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. I know it was a quick one. I'll come out with a few more of these in the near future once I get some free time, and keep checking in.